Yeah, now we've talked a lot about that term, practical atheism. We talk about it a lot in the first Behold Your God study, but for those listeners who may not be familiar with that term, practical atheist, what do we mean by that? Define practical atheism.
The author Stephen Charnock, in his book, The Existence and Attributes of God, very big book, worth all the effort it will take to read through it. Charnock is a Puritan, and that's probably the Puritan book on the attributes of God. He gives a large section at the beginning of the book to this whole issue of practical atheism. But if we were to boil it down to just two things, this is what it is. It is living or practicing life, living as if God doesn't really exist. So not theoretical atheism, not saying God doesn't exist, not a philosophical approach. Just look, I'm okay with God existing, but if you followed me around through the week, you would probably think that I lived as if He didn't exist. But he says there's also another aspect of practical atheism. It's living as if God might exist, but He exists in a way other than He describes Himself to be. So no, I believe in God, but today in our language, we hear it like this. We'd say, well, to me, God is. Right. And so that is a practical atheism. We are feeling free to refashion God. And since there really isn't a God that's like the one I just imagined, then the God I'm worshiping doesn't exist, so I'm like an atheist in practice. And so practical atheism tends to produce in the sinner a false sense of self-sufficiency, where we intend to live upon ourselves, to find all of our sustenance, our sustaining strength, and our comfort from us.
Yeah. It's so amazing how pervasive that worldly wisdom is. I mean, it's the moral of every cartoon, and it's the moral of every self-help book, even filling up the Christianity and spirituality section of so many bookstores. Look within yourself to find what you need to get through. And it's really the wisdom of Satan. It's the message of Satan.